Hi, everybody. Mrs. Dominic here. I hope you all had a lovely holiday. For today, we are going to be dealing with the sky of our outer space scene. Okay, you should have been able to finish this last week drawing a one item that goes from the top of the page to the bottom of the page. It could be anywhere, but it's got to go from top to bottom. So please double check and make sure you have that. Please double check and make sure you got something that is in the mid-ground, a medium-sized item, whether it's coming out of the hole or it's on the land in the back, some sort of medium, mid-ground something. And then also make sure you have some sort of background, far away item. I have my crystals back here on my mountain, and I think I might add some more too. Okay. But today, our focus is the sky. Now, I have not Sharpied my paper yet, even though I did tell you to do it. So I'm going to be doing that step while you all are doing something for me. In order to put stuff in our sky, we need some things that we can trace that are round. I don't want you to draw any old circle. I don't want you to draw, quick, fast, like sloppy circles. I want really beautiful round circles. Okay. So I'm going to put 2 minutes on a timer here. And what I want you to do in those 2 minutes is go and search for things that are round. I don't want you to get anything bigger around than this. This is like a plastic lid to a container that I would get at the grocery store or the deli. So it's about as wide across as my hand is. I don't want anything bigger than this. If you have coasters in your home, that's about the size of this thing. So that's a good item to try and find. So nothing bigger than this. And I want nothing smaller than a dime. But I want you to have at least 3 or 4 different sizes of things that you could choose from to trace in your sky. So you want to go and find a selection of round things in these 2 minutes. Okay? Go ahead. Timer starts now. Okay, I'm pretty sure it has been at least 2 minutes. I've got my scenery all Sharpied. I made the artistic choice to use a chubbier Sharpie on the things that were closer to me and a skinnier Sharpie on the things that were further away. If you did not do that, that is a-okay. I wouldn't worry about it. But as long as everything is Sharpied, you're going to be just fine. Okay? If you haven't yet given your page a once over with an eraser, it is a very good idea that you do so. Things that you don't realize that need to be Sharpied, that are things that you want to keep, you should, you might think you've Sharpied everything, but you won't be sure until you start erasing. So I like to Sharpie everything, give it a once over with an eraser, and then go back through and be like, oh, maybe I want to add a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So if you think that your page is ready, we are going to move on to today's little bit of activity. Okay. For today, you have gone through and you have chosen quite a few. Sorry, now I'm just being a perfectionist. All right, you have chosen quite a few circles. I already showed you mine. Depending on where you put your horizon line, you might have a lot of sky left and you might have very little. Okay. I have very little sky left, especially since I made my horizon line fairly tall. My mountains are fairly tall, and my one object that goes from top to bottom is sort of wide. So I don't have a ton of sky left to deal with, but I'm going to hopefully make it interesting nonetheless. Okay. In the sky, we are going to be emphasizing that size to show space idea. Okay. For size to show space, you want to make sure that you have circles that you can trace. One that's fairly large, one that's kind of medium size, and one that's pretty small. Okay. Of these three items, the one that is going to represent the celestial body or the planet, star, moon, whatever you want to think about it, the one that is the closest to me will be represented by the largest circle. So for me, it is this tub of walnut ink. This is going to represent like the moon for this planet, or the next closest planet over, but it is going to be my largest circle. If I wanted to, I could make a truly, truly huge circle and have that represent a planet. Actually, that's not a terrible idea. I may do that anyway, but I would then have even less sky to deal with. So you are going to want some really skinny, tiny circles too. Anyway, the one that is largest is the planet that is closest to me. And then as it gets smaller, it gets further and further away, just like we did on our planet, right? The biggest thing was closest to me. And then as it went further back, it got smaller and smaller and smaller. That is using the principle of size to show space. Today, I'm going to ask you to please put an odd number of planets or celestial bodies or objects in your sky. Okay, so odd numbers, right? We all know what they are. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. Okay, however, I think our maximum number for this sky should be 5. I think I'm going to aim to do 5 circles in this sky just because I want to still have some space to paint the outer space, if that makes any sense. So I'm going to aim for 5. If I only get 3 in here, I only get 3. But I'm still going to be using this. That is all we are doing today. You're going to pick out your space items and put them in here. Do not Sharpie it. I'm going to repeat, do not Sharpie it. You are just tracing these items with a pencil. That is it. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and put my biggest planet over here. And you notice I'm not overlapping my drawing at all. I'm just putting it over to the side. I'm going to do a secondary planet up here. And for those of you who have the other white sheet of paper to trace or to draw with, it's going to be a little bit easier for you to draw going off the page. Me, I've got this binding to deal with. I want there to be a secondary planet here. So there's 1, 2, 3. One, two, three, and then we'll do another one over here. And then, so there's 4, and we'll do one last one up here. Now, some of you are probably sitting out there like, oh, well, I want to put a ring around my planet. You can. I want to put craters on a moon. You can. I want to put stars in my sky. You cannot. Not yet, anyway. Okay. For right now, if you want to decorate your planets a little bit, you can totally do that. I'm going to go ahead, well, maybe not right there. I'll probably do it to this little guy. I'm going to go ahead and put a ring going around this planet. And erase in the ring, so it looks like it's overlapping. If this is my moon, I'm going to go ahead and put some craters in here. Okay, even though this moon looks absolutely enormous, like it is still a very, very long distance away. So little bit of curvies, little shading, but don't like stick an alien on there, right? Too far away for that. These 2 planets I'm just going to leave, and I'm going to make them colorful and beautiful at another time. And same thing with that one over there. Of all of these planets, I think I will designate this one the sun. And just to say that I want this one to be the sun, I'm going to put a little S in it and call it a day. Everything else in the sky is a planet, and this is the sun for my planet. If you want to be like Tatooine and have multiple suns or multiple moons, that is perfectly fine with you. Or with me, sorry. That is up to you. It is your choice. That's what I meant to say. Okay? Once you are done with this and you have it the way you want it, leave it alone. Okay? Next week, we're going to practice painting and then paint the sky. And then after that, I think we're going to move on to doing our foreground, middle ground, and background. And then the final thing we're going to handle is like all the detail stuff. Okay? So this is it for today. Sharpied foreground, middle ground, background, pencil, and detailed up sky. No stars. Good luck, and I will see you next time. Bye.